So kind of on that front, I mean, how much does Dana's situation with her own child,
Nice to see you.
Right, nice to see you too, right, impact the way she deals with weight?
With her own child?
Like, how much does that kind of inform the way she then turns around and deals with it?
Well, I think there's a certain amount of, like, once you become a parent, you're like, you get to stop parenting me now. Like, now, like, whether you like it or not, I'm the captain now. Like, but I've never been in Wayne's situation, but I imagine it's hard when you see your kid kind of making choices that you think aren't in their best interests. It's hard to stay out of it. And so I think it's a really interesting dynamic. I think it's like nobody's wrong, but it makes a lot of sense that Dana's like, back off, start trusting me. If I wasn't your daughter, you wouldn't be acting like this. Let me do my job the way I think it's right. And I think too, at the beginning of the show, she wants to bail with Cooper because I think she just wants to have a chance of, like, much like M, like, having a chance to show who she really is versus who everybody's decided she is. And she wants that freedom for herself and her son. Yeah.
What would you guys say you learned about yourselves filming this season?
I learned that I've said this a lot, but it's true. I honestly feel like I've learned a lot about myself physically in terms of what I'm capable of and what I can be capable of and what I can learn and what I can do. I feel like kind of similar to Em, I've always been told not to do this because you're too short, or don't do this because you're going to hurt yourself. And on this set, they gave me a lot of freedom and exposure to who I can be and what I can do safely, of course. That would be a big thing that I learned from the show. And then I think that I learned that you can also just learn from your character a lot. And through that, I also learned a lot about OI and addiction because of all the research. So I feel grateful that I got to learn about those through somebody and through telling a story.
So both of your characters, for different reasons. So M has a point where things radically change for her. She becomes like more badass. And what emotions did you tap into to make that transition? And Dana has a very difficult relationship with her father. It's what emotions did you tap into to play that relationship, that complex relationship, and assert your strength?
I think we're still suspicious.
For the emotions tapping into, I think as humans, we all feel emotions very heavily, and we don't always express those emotions because we're not always able to. And I feel like with that, Em was going through a fight or flight moment, and that's kind of what I embraced in the moment. And there was fighting, and then there was the flight portion, which is when, after Coop was gone, her sister is in her hands. That's where she's no longer able to figure out what she can do, which then works in her favor, but that's the moment where she feels completely helpless. Before then, I don't think there's even a thought other than, I want to hurt you because nobody touches my family. And I honestly just think, like, I'm a really sweet person and I don't like to be mean to people, but when people mess with my family, that's when I take it personally. That's when I'm not happy. I'm not a happy person anymore. That's where I get upset. So putting that into Dana and Mel is easy.
And for Dana, I think I actually I struggle with anger. I think I'm in real life, I'm like, I wouldn't want to be around me when I have a really long fuse, but when it goes off, you don't want to be there, as my husband would say. And so for the dynamic between Wayne and Dana, I did feel I held back a lot and kind of let it be a bit superficial. And what I had to kind of do is then go drop into like the pain of what was behind the anger, and that let me find the anger because just anger is like anybody can yell like and raise your voice, but if there's no pain or like there's no reason behind it, then it's just yelling, and that's loud and annoying. So for me, it was a great kind of what I learned from my character was like that you have to not be afraid of standing up for yourself and not being afraid of your anger, because sometimes it's the only way to get through.